Hey guys, it's Book of Catherine. So I just got done filming Look What You Made Me Do, and I watched it with my family and friends. And I was right. They were concerned, well, not as concerned as I was, with as much as I was concerned with. Um, um, but really, uh, what they're concerned with is where it looks like I'm going to fall. And those are places where I'm trying to make it look smooth to, for the camera. And that is something to be concerned about. Like, I've had to stop filming. Like, there's been one take where I couldn't put it on because I was thinking so much about, oh, the camera, that I was making it dangerous for myself, if that makes sense. And so you see it on May It Be. I actually was like, okay, I closed my eyes through the whole thing because I was like, you're making it dangerous for yourself. You're worrying about everyone watching and you need to just disappear into the music because this is about you and getting better. And so that's what I did on May It Be. And I just sunk into the music and I have to do that. Um, this time it's hard because I really love that song and I was also doing it for a purpose or whatever. But it's just hard. It's almost impossible. Like I really get into the music and there's a lot in it. And my body just, it really went and did a lot of crazy things. So I wanted to go over a little bit with you what feels different in my body after doing that. It kind of went nuts. I've been waiting for a really long time since Freedom Week was 2 weeks ago now. And then my body just quit. It went into a bad cycle and it's been bad all week. And then we did a wood stove fire, and I finally got mobility back and I was like, oh, I'm gonna jump on it. Like I haven't been walking all week. But you've seen me. I haven't looked so great. And so I really, again, like this is way more makeup than I've been wearing. I had to really pile it on today. But and you can kind of see it in the film. Like I'm not as like I'm kind of like blown up a little bit or whatever. And that's what happens when I get worse in these swings or whatever. But I took the chance with the wood stove fire and took the mobility, and you can see it. Like I have you can see all my work from Freedom Week, the strength that I get in my upper arms and my upper mobility and the abs that I suddenly have. And so my body really went with it. It's really, really good. And that's the whole point, is that I say, like, after I do these things, I know that, hey, something's coming where I'm going to get worse. I know a time's going to come where I get worse. I know I'm going to have these fluctuations. But then when I get better, I know I'm going to be in that time. Even when I get worse, there's going to be a recovery period where whatever I did when I was super active, like whatever I did in Freedom Week, I know when I swing down and I'm going to be bad, my body will still be recovering from whatever I did in Freedom Week, and I will come out the other side and I will be stronger. And that happened today. You can see the strength. I was able to do a lot more than I was able to do even in Freedom Week, and that's the recovery process. So now after that, that I just did up there, I can already feel it like in my shoulder. Like I can feel like I can do that now. Like I don't, and that may not last. I wasn't able to do this all week or whatever, but I can do that with my shoulder. And that's really good because like I didn't have any shoulder injury on my left shoulder. That got pinned down from when your body's in pain. We don't know why it got, I mean, there are certain things that we do know. There are certain things that we do know, and there are things that we don't know. For sure. And one of the things we do know for sure are injuries to the spine. We do know that for sure. And we do know for sure I've had a lot of head injuries in my life. Just I was very, very active, and that just happened to be. So those are things we do know. And so this I get more mobility in here, which is really, really great. And I can also feel more mobility in this shoulder, not as much, but definitely more mobility in this shoulder. It's loosening up, and also more mobility in my lumbar region. I can definitely feel more of that. And I know a lot of that will stay through me through my next down cycle, if that makes sense. I know a lot of this will stay through me, with me through that. And so I already know just from doing that head thing, like they're like, oh no, you shouldn't have done that head thing. And I was like, okay, keep that in mind. Like I thought we're not supposed to do head whips, but they're like, no head stuff at all. And I'm like, okay. And it's true. Last time when I did head whips, like I was really super swollen up through the neck and shoulders. So I'm like, okay, no neck stuff at all. And so I know I'm going to pay for that, in not good ways. And so I'm still learning, and, but it's just good to keep the spine flexible and as mobile as I can with all the injuries in it, with all the injuries up and down the spine, especially with whatever else is going on, whatever it is, whatever it could be going on, whatever like nervous system malfunction I'm having, whatever inflammatory disease I'm having, whatever else could be going on, which we don't know is going on, that we're going to all these doctors to figure out. And I did get into the Mind Body Institute. I just want to tell you guys, I know I said it on Twitter, but I did. I remember when I came out of the neurologist's office and I said she recommended the Mind Body Institute. Do you remember what I said? I said, I'm not even worried about getting in because you guys do such a good job of, you guys have been there so consistently and done such an amazing job of I know those of you who can't donate or whatever, I know that you do it in other ways. Like you send like good thoughts, or some of you guys pray, or some of you guys meditate, or some of you guys send love or whatever, or some of you guys send me notes. And I know all of that adds up. What we've really learned as a family is that whatever it is, if you guys send love in whatever format that you do, sending love my way has really changed me. Like if I'm not doing well in the car and I asked for love in any format, you know, whatever kind of community we were at the time, whatever demographics we had at the time, if I asked for love in any of your formats, I'd get better. And that's something we've noticed as a community. And so I'm just like, I finally was just like, I'm not even worried. I'm not even worried about getting in. And I did. I got in. And there was a time before these last 2 years, I would have been worried. I would have been like, please, 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 if you guys could send love, if you could send love my way. And I remember after 2 years of you guys just some kind of crazy thing happening, of these times where I'd have bad episodes or something bad happening or something, I was just like, I'm not even worried this time. It was the first time that happened, but I walked out and it was a really big deal to get in. It's really, really difficult to get in. Insurance doesn't want to let you in. But after procedures that are impossible to get, after this is impossible to get, after all these miracles that had happened to me, I was just like, oh, that's funny, miracles. Oh, gosh, here we go again. Anyway, so after all these basic, but really, okay, like they are, I don't know, we'll have to look up a different dictionary definition of miracles or whatever, but these things of, you know, this U-turn that I've made every time, you know, anyway, okay, now I'm all thinking about other stuff. All right, I love you guys. Anyway, I'm probably just going downhill now that I just did all that. So I just want to thank you guys and let you know, like, all this different, like, mobility that I have. Like, I'm able to kind of stretch back like that, which I wasn't able to do, and stretch forward like this, which I wasn't able to do. And that's right after doing that, you know, and like that is just super, that's a lot of rotation I did not have before doing that actual stretch on that stretch machine. I did not have that much rotation at all. And that won't all stay with me, but most will, like 80% maybe, or 75% will stay with me. That's a huge difference, you guys. That's a huge difference. And that's the power of putting on music. Now, I really do want to say this. This is one other thing. Music is for me. Music makes adrenaline for me because I was born a dancer. Does that make sense? Music, I said put on music. I was speaking to other dancers when I said that. Music makes adrenaline for me. There may be something for you that's different. You may be made differently. Not everybody's made to be a dancer. So there may be something different. Maybe it's soccer for you. Maybe there's something out there with you get out in the soccer field, or maybe it's the baseball field, or it could be any number of things that gets you excited, or maybe it's violin music, or maybe it's piano music, or whatever it is. There could be any number of things that gets your adrenaline pumping. Jazz, I have no idea, but I'm saying find your passion and whatever it is that gets your adrenaline pumping to get you past it, to do with physical therapy. For me, it's dance music. Does that make sense? Any kind of song that makes me feel like dancing, then it gets me moving. Does that make sense? And I tried Latin music the other day. I'm almost thankful, but luckily the video blew out. Like, it totally blew out all the background or whatever. I was like, oh, and now it's not even usable. But I was like, okay, I'm going to have to do another Latin one for you so you can see all the injuries. All my injuries showed up. I was like, oh, and that's, so I want to do like a before and after maybe, of my procedures, so you can see like how bad, that's where all my injuries really show up, because I can't do any hip rotations. Latin requires this figure eight, and I can't do that with my hips. So that might be really good for me to do for you. I want to try it, except it's highly painful. I was sobbing afterwards. I've never sobbed. I've cried out of joy, like happiness afterwards, or just weeping a little bit from pain. This one, no, I've never sobbed like that afterwards. I could barely drag myself inside the house. I was just heaving with sobs afterwards. The pain was devastating. I was like, okay, I'm really not ready for that kind of hip motion or whatever. So, but you know, what I did learn was like, oh, that's every injury. Oh, it's every, and stuff. So I'm like trying to do physical therapy a little bit differently and stuff like that. So I'm going to try and do a video for that. I'm rambling because I'm tired. All right. I love you guys so much. And here are some videos. And please subscribe. That'll keep you updated. And please donate down below. I hope this really helped and gave you some information that will benefit your life. And if you could benefit my life, go ahead and give me a dollar down below so we can be equal teammates in this game of life. Mwah. I love you guys so much. Bye.